Guys talk about is girls and cash, these times they ain't even got none. It ain't hard to see when I step in the dance, the party's lit and it gets done. Turn up the music and we jump in, all the people around just jump in. Turn up the music and we jump in, all the people around just jump in. Bounce and vibe, get the drink and we dance all night. Vibe and bounce, get the drink and the girl on the couch. Bounce and vibe, get the drink and we dance all night. Vibe and bounce, get the drink and the girl on the couch.
Alright, boom, boom, boom. Let's get into it. First things first, tell us your name and where you're from, please.
So, my name is Sauc3e, that's Sauc3e, and I'm from South East London.
Yes, South East London. Whereabouts in South East?
Croydon.
Croydon?
Yeah.
Yeah? How was Croydon?
How is it?
Yeah.
Croydon's calm, it's calm, but I want to be out of there soon, so yeah.
You want to be out of there soon?
Yeah.
Why?
I just don't think, I don't know, for growth purposes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you need to switch up your environment if you want to grow.
Okay,
so
okay. No, I heard
forward
that.
to do.
I heard that. So how would you describe yourself in one word?
How would I describe myself in one word? I'm going to say depth.
Depth. Yes. How would you say your friends and family describe you then?
I would say my friends and my family describe me as outgoing, positive, and very creative.
Outgoing, positive, and very creative. Did you go to school in Croydon?
I did go to school in Croydon, unfortunately. I went Virgo Fidelis, Hose on the Hills.
Is that what it's called? Holes on the Hills?
Yeah, Holes on the Hill.
Oh
yeah.
my.
I wasn't a hoe on the hill, so I'm good. I got my 14 GCSEs A star to C and I did. Well,
okay.
I did.
Okay, did your thing.
Yeah, did my thing.
So how was that? How was the whole experience?
Do you know what? I think secondary school, I would say it definitely kind of shaped me and built me. Obviously, it was an all-girls school, so I think being around all girls, seeing how bitchy they could be and stuff, it just kind of, opened up my mind in that avenue. But then also because I've got older brothers, I've always been kind of like, what's this word? I'm cool with girls and boys. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm calm with men and women. But yeah, a lot of girls used to switch it up, which I think is end. But do you?
Jeez. Who you want to be?
Yeah, be who you want to be, innit?
So what first got you into music?
What first got me into music? So I was originally in a band actually, part-time music, yeah. And obviously I was with J Smoke and Shandice Music. I don't know if you guys have remember or like heard, but yeah, basically we was in a band. We were in a band like 2020. Time has just flown by. But yeah, we were in a band, started out, it was actually lit. We've got a couple tunes I'll even show you, but yeah, it was a lit experience. And then that's kind of what embarked like my journey and started my journey. And now it's Sauc3e.
Sauc3e. Okay, so what was you doing in the band? Was you singing and rapping, or was you just singing there?
So I was more, I'm not gonna lie, I would say I was more rapping. I did sing sometimes, but it was more melody. So like, but not actually really going in for the notes. Oh, Shandice she was cold for the notes, the high notes. I was straying away from that.
Okay, and what was the type of music you made in that band? So
we made, I'm gonna say, Afro swing and dancehall, and then R&B kind of hip hop. Yeah. It's hard to kind of box us in and say that we do one specific thing, because I think we're all talented. And then also drill as well. Yeah.
Okay, so a bit of drill, you know.
Yeah.
So what would you say the kind of music you make now is? What would you describe that as?
The kind of music that I make now is healing music, I would say. Obviously hip hop, rap, that is the kind of avenue. But then some may argue and say the genre is kind of, you have different genres within that genre, so there's like sub-genres. So yeah, I would say R&B, I would say hip-hop. Yeah, R&B, hip-hop.
Sick. What would you say your creative process is like?
My creative process, so do you mean like coming up with lyrics, writing?
Everything, like, so when you go to approach making a track, like what does that start with? Does it start with the lyrics? Does it start with the beat? Like, do you have to write in the studio? What's your process like, would you say?
Yeah, so for me it really depends on the mood that I'm in. Like I could be in the kitchen or randomly in the shower and I can just hear like a melody in my head. I'm like, oh, that sounds hard, but then how do you fix a beat to that? Do you get what I mean? How do you get the music? So more time I would listen to instrumentals just going on YouTube. My actual process is, because I've made like 5 tunes already, I would go on existing producers or engineers that essentially make beats, and then I'll go through their profile and see, okay, am I attracted to the thumbnail? Then I'll click. But sometimes I don't underestimate, because some tunes are actually hard. Some beats are actually cold, even though they have like a MIDI thumbnail. So I just try and go through all of that. Then I pick out beats, or I'll just type in the genre that I'm looking for.
That's interesting. What you're saying, the picture, that YouTube, the little thumbnail.
Yeah,
that
the thumbnail.
Yeah,
that thumbnail. Because I'm a very creative person, I feel like it's important to be drawn into something by the visual, and then you can obviously experience the music and the melody. But yeah, that's my process, and then I just start writing. Yeah.
Sick. All right, and you mentioned about obviously the band as well, so I'm guessing you've obviously collaborated with a few artists.
Yeah.
Would you like to just kind of talk about any artists that you've worked with and what that process was like?
Yeah, so I've worked with a few artists. So I've worked with Sauc3e. I don't know if you've heard. We've done like an R&B. It's like an R&B vibe. Very nice trap soul beat. And we done that for Valentine's last year. Was it last year or this year? Either way, we released it for Valentine's. Really good experience. Really lit, like tune. I think we brought out the best in each other when we done that song. I think, whereas he's very like melodic, singy type rap, but like talking like Bryson Tiller type vibe, I thought, yeah, that was lit. And yeah, I think we just bounced off of each other and we vibed with that writing process. I did enjoy that process. But yeah, I've worked with him. I've worked with another artist as well from America, from the Bronx. We done a tune together. Yeah. And it was crazy because I think that music process would have been the highlight for me, because I got it all mixed here, including his stems, because he sent them over. Then got it mixed by my engineer, Automatic Pro, shout out, hardest engineer in London, my personal opinion. But yeah, that was a lit experience just to see how that came together, and it was lit.
So, what's that like, working with international artists?
I really enjoyed it. I liked it. Working with an international artist, I think it brings out a different side to you, because your creative process is different. It's not like, as opposed to when I worked with Sauc3e, he's obviously in London, so we can meet up and we've got more time to actually spend, okay, this doesn't sound right and stuff. But I think with an international artist, you waste less time, because you know you have to be on point, and there's a certain like time frame that you want to get that music out by. So I would say, yeah, defo, it was a good experience. Very positive experience, yeah.
That's interesting. I like the look at it. Like, you're wasting less time. You've got to be more efficient with him. So, yeah. Okay. So apart from artists, I guess you've worked with, and I'm guessing you've got to like them to work with them. You're not going to just work with artists. What other artists do you rate personally? Like, who would you say your top 5 artists at the moment are?
In the UK or in general?
People always ask that, and I think just.
Do you know what? No. I'm gonna say who I think.
Yeah.
So the 5 artists that I think are hard, and I'm not just saying this just because, again, people argue that, okay, it's just because they're in the mainstream. For me, Sauc3e, 100%. I think he's very self-reflective, and when I watch his stuff, there's so many spiritual references that I think personally for me I relate to, and I can understand to that depth. I would also say Future. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna do a feature with Future. I am making that now. I'm gonna do a feature with Future. He's the hardest. He's also very spiritual. Who else? Future, Sauc3e. I like Megan Thee Stallion. I like her vibe. I like the fact that she's herself. She's very grounded in who she is. And I like that she's different. She doesn't sound like any other artist. So she's hard. Who else? Not gonna lie, this might sound, I'm not doing this, like, it might sound like, oh my gosh, but Tory Lanez, 100% love Tory Lanez. I think his melodies are hard. And again, very self-reflective. And who else? There's another artist. Future, Sauc3e, Meg, Tory, and... Do you know what? Tash Sultana.
Who?
Tash Sultana. I think I'm saying her name right. Yeah, she So my work colleague, we went Wales like 2 weeks ago, right? For a week. And she played me her song called Jungle. Hardest. Very self-reflective. And I like her energy on stage. She's got a stage presence that I don't think I've ever experienced with anyone else. Any other artist. 100%. Yeah, so those are my five artists that I think are hard.
Okay, I like, it seems like the theme that was coming out of that is you like self-reflectiveness. You like artists who can kind of look, I guess, introspective and see what's going on there. So is that something that I guess you try to do with your music? You said it's like therapy as well, so I guess is that...
I wouldn't even say that it's something that I try to do. It's just, like, I've got tunes that are jumpy, like, talking crazy, like, yeah, Sauc3e, like, that. Some people may argue and say, oh, this is just a vibe or it's just bands. But my main aim in my music is to heal. And I'm not doing music for other people, which sounds crazy because it's like my audience and my supporters are going to be like, well, you're not doing music for us, but I'm not. I'm doing it for myself to heal through my music. And it's actually helped me so much. Like, I feel like when I go to the studio and I lay down those lyrics or those words on a track, words are powerful when you speak. So for me, it's like, I've got that all out of me, that energy, it's just it's lifted off of me. But yeah, it's a beautiful feeling. Can't cap.
Okay, sick. And just on your side of things, like apart from those artists, and even if it is those artists, but would you say you've got a person that inspires you?
A person that inspires me? Myself. Yourself. I don't know if I should, actually, do you know what, fuck it, it's not even that, if I should say it, be real. I've grown up witnessing people that I don't want to be like. So for me, and like, I'm just like, yeah, fuck it. I inspire myself every day. If I have a problem or an issue, I find resolutions, and I'm a big advocate for just, self-improvement, self-growth. I feel like no one in this life has you more than yourself, and of course God.
I like that. Crazy as well, man.
I'm telling you, I'm deep.
Not in a bad way, just in a kind of like, I don't think a lot of people would just be like, I inspire me kind of thing. Whereas you should, in essence, you should be able to look at yourself and be like, okay, yeah, I'm doing something right, let me keep doing.
Do you get it? And I feel like also, like, when you have, I think, idols, I'm not saying I'm against it or anything, because like I said, if that is what suits you, then do that. But for me, if I have an idol, I'm like, oh yeah, I look up to this person, it's like, what I'm essentially saying in hindsight or retrospectively is, I see you doing something good, but I don't see myself on that level. And I feel like even on artists, like, people might say, oh, you're chatting shit. If Future walked in right now, oh my God, Future, I'm not going to do that. It sounds mad. I'll be obviously excited. I'm going to be excited. Man, that's my favourite artist. But that kind of inner feeling and knowing that you also have that potential to be in that space, I think, that is the biggest thing for me. I don't really think having idols, because you're kind of saying to yourself, well, I see them there and I see me here. But actually, you have the potential to be up there also.
For real.
Yeah.
No, it's really good. So for yourself in this journey so far, what would you say the biggest obstacle you've had to face so far is?
It's going to sound deep, myself.
No, I like myself. Keep going.
Oh no, I don't understand. Myself. I feel like, myself. And when I say that, I say like, in terms of obstacles, my mind. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. Like, when you create, you're like, even for me right now, I'm 24. Some people argue, oh, you still got time, you can fail, you can get back up again. I hear that, but there's a lot of pressures that people have internally. And I think for me, I put a lot of pressure on myself. I'm like, oh, I'm not good enough when what I've produced is calm. Like, or it's at a calm level. It's not average, it's calm. It's like, and there's always room for improvement. But I think, the biggest obstacle is that negative self-talk and negative thoughts. Like, when I do something, even if it's good, oh, I could have gone harder, or it's not good enough. But me doing that, it kind of, and I've seen this kind of, I've seen it happen, like, in terms of when I first started out compared to now, I've been a lot kinder to myself, and I'm able to do more and push more and accelerate more. I feel like if you're in this negative aura, you're not gonna love life, for real. Don't know if I waffle, man.
No, it's good.
Yeah, by myself.